On a ship, this piece of equipment might not look like much most of the time, but in an emergency, it can save a lot of lives. This is an automatically inflatable marine evacuation system, and compared to traditional escape equipment, it's very different in both design and efficiency. First, there's the inflation speed. Once activated, it usually takes only about a minute for the system to fully inflate and deploy. Second, both the inflatable rafts and the access passage leading to them are fully enclosed. It works a lot like a giant slide. Passengers simply slide down the chute and are guided straight into the raft, making the evacuation fast and safe. Inside, the space is surprisingly roomy. That's because it's not just a single raft, but a system made by connecting 4 rafts together, creating one much larger shelter area. You also don't have to worry about it feeling stuffy inside. Large observation windows are built around the raft. These windows help with ventilation, but more importantly, they allow rescue teams to easily monitor what's happening inside, while also making the evacuation process feel calmer and more organized for passengers.
Imagine a wire thinner than a human hair slicing through hardened steel with zero physical contact. This is wire EDM. It was discovered back in 1943 when scientists harnessed controlled lightning to erode metal, and it's since changed manufacturing forever. It isn't cutting in the traditional sense. A brass wire carries a high voltage charge, creating a bridge of sparks that vaporizes material at a staggering 8,000 degrees Celsius. Because there's no physical force, you can achieve micron-level precision and internal corners that are literally impossible for a drill or a mill. It's how we build everything from heart stents to rocket engines without ever touching the metal.
This is the job sailors fear the most, because you have to drive a small, high-speed boat and aim it straight into the back of a massive ship. So why do they do this? Because when someone falls overboard, a huge cargo ship can't just slam on the brakes and turn around. So instead, the crew deploys a fast rescue craft. These boats are usually built with a deep V or semi-planing hull design, allowing them to cut through heavy seas. Top speeds often exceed 46 miles per hour. They're designed to reach a person in the water within minutes, and don't underestimate their size. Most of them don't even use exposed propellers. Instead, they rely on water jet propulsion, and they can even reverse. But the most dangerous part isn't the rescue, it's coming back. The driver has to guide that small craft directly into an opening at the stern of the mothership, while both vessels are still moving. At the rear of the ship, there's a recessed recovery bay, sometimes called a stern gate. Below it sits a sloped ramp, along with a hydraulic capture system designed to grab and secure the boat the moment it slides inside. So, do you think this is dangerous? Did you know that 1/3 of the Burj Khalifa is unusable space? The highest section of the tower includes more than 20 floors that are basically empty. The skyscrapers that are very tall often have a portion at the top referred to as vanity height. This refers to the part of a building at the top that exists mainly to make the building taller and more impressive. For most skyscrapers, this is usually represented by a radio tower, an antenna, or some kind of decorative structure. But for the Burj Khalifa, this is represented not just by an antenna, but also by actual floors made up of rooms with windows that are mostly empty, with most of them looking like this. These upper floors were never meant to be lived in or used fully. Bringing them up to safety standards or adding normal amenities like plumbing would be extremely difficult and very expensive.
You might think that beautiful pearls are purely a gift from nature, but did you know? Almost every pearl you see today was actually made with a little help from humans. It's not like oysters just decide to make them on their own. Humans trigger the process by placing a foreign object inside the oyster's body. To the oyster, this object feels like a threat. So, as a defense, it starts coating it with a shiny substance called nacre, the same material that lines the inside of its shell. Layer by layer, year after year, the nacre builds up until it forms a pearl. Ironically, the oyster has no idea that its defense mechanism ends up becoming something so valuable. And here's the cool part, no two pearls are exactly the same, because every oyster reacts in its own unique way.